Hey, it's me, Mr. Arena Shooting Star, and I'm back with another blog. So, today I'm going to talk about motivation and effort. You know, how important it is to get the results that you need in life. You need to have that motivation, and what I mean by motivation is just having that drive to do what you need to do, and you know seeing the results because you put more effort into that motivation. Because the worst thing that could ever happen to you is if you lose motivation, and you just lose the drive. I think that's a terrible thing, and it happens to a lot of people. It could happen due to mood, but how can you always spark that motivation so you can keep on going like a machine? Obviously, you need time to rest and stuff, but more and more, life is becoming that you need that motivation if you are supposed to make it in this world. Um, how do you carry on that motivation and effort? Because that's what really is going to make a difference, whether you have that motivation to do something. If you lack motivation, then you won't really achieve what it is that you want to do. So I'm just mentioning it because it's really important. If you want something in life, you've got to have that motivation, you've got to want to do it. um, and what is it that drives you to do something, and where do you get your motivation from? Because motivation is really important to keep things going, to let the wheels go, keep the engine running. So motivation is very important, and whenever you feel like you lack motivation, or your emotions are stopping you from doing things, you should sort of realize that that's happening and work on it. How can you improve it? Because I feel like, living in the UK, there's so many things that stop that motivation. Well, it's been like that for quite a long time, actually. It's only recently, with all these like self help things going on online and this big drive to motivate people. But yeah, a lot of things have been demotivating. They literally have been. They've done things to make you feel demotivated, but they're realizing that you've got to be motivated now. Like, all the people have been so demotivated that, there needs to be some national thing going on where they make everybody more motivated, because there's nothing worse than having no motivation. Just literally, it's horrible. It's like being in a standstill. It's like being floating on an ocean, with the anchor down, basically, not going anywhere. And I think everybody's gone through life lacking motivation, but maybe they're trying to figure out what they want to do. It happens, but but if there's something, demotivating things that have been encouraged don't help people. And I feel like, it's been going on for so long that the masses are demotivated, and they're realizing, oh no, we need our workers to be motivated. Maybe we shouldn't be controlling them, maybe we shouldn't be harsh. Like, there's a whole flip reverse on what you know needs to be done to motivate the masses, because all these years of programming and capitalism, they've demotivated the whole society, and now it's just basically bit them, and they need to somehow deprogram and demotivate these people. And it's important, because when you motivate people, then they go far, and finally they're getting it through their thick heads, the people that run the system, that demotivating people is not going to work. It's not going to help things in the long run. It's just very short term, but in the long run, people get stressed, with work and things like that, costs more. So, it's taken them how long to figure that out? And now all of a sudden, all these positive things online, and, all this self-help coach, and all these things are all in drive, mega drive to actually motivate people. And it's like, hello, it's a bit late, but yeah, they really are trying to, because they realize their old ways wasn't working. So yeah, it's good to motivate yourself to do what you need to do. And all this, self motivation things that we're seeing, is for a reason, because that's what's needed to survive. And it's good to motivate yourself to do things. So, anyways, what was I going to say? Basically, just, yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Do you honestly feel, um, do you feel like you lack motivation? And how can you improve your motivation skills and whenever you feel like, oh, I'm feeling demotivated, because it really does happen. It does feel like there's this force that's just demotivating everyone, whether it's circumstances, whether it's something. But yeah, I think everybody needs that whole motivating spirit that, makes you do things. Not, there's too many things that stops you from doing things. So we all need to realize when people feel like that and work on motivating yourself. Anyway, so I'm going to go on to the next topic and talk about this Tinder nonsense, okay? I hate it, okay? I cannot stand Tinder. Why are people doing that to themselves? Why are they on Tinder? Okay, just stop it, okay? There's nothing more soul destroying than a woman being on Tinder. Like, seriously, get a life. Don't get on Tinder. Tinder's just an excuse for men to play about. Don't give it to them. Don't put yourself out there and let people rate you by ticking left and ticking right. It just does not work. Like, you're gonna lose out, okay? You're gonna lose your power as a woman, to decide who you want. But if everybody's on Tinder, men are not gonna act up. Men are not going to do anything. They're not gonna get married. They're not gonna provide because they're gonna be on Tinder swiping left, right. You know, there is a saying, why give what was it? The one about the cow. Um, yeah, why have the cow when you can get the milk for free? That's what Tinder is about, basically. Do not go on Tinder. As women, you all need to boycott Tinder because, it's not for you. That's why you're not getting married, because you're all on Tinder. Get off Tinder, for God's sake. Boycott it. Okay, it's useless. And I would like to then move on to, because there's quite a lot of single people and they're all like dating and stuff. Yeah, with dating apps like Tinder, which are soul destroying and absolutely disgusting, and no wonder why they're single, because it's, you're putting yourself out there and people are commenting on your looks. They're destroying your confidence. So it's not online dating. Forget it. Okay, first of all, you don't know them. Okay, you don't know their background, and all these people that say, oh yeah, it works, but at the end of the day, you don't know that person, so you will not fully trust that person. You will not know whether they're on there looking for someone else, because there's this perception, because you don't really know that person, you won't fully trust them, and then the other person will feel the same way, so there won't be as much trust. I think that's my personal opinion. So even like meeting someone on the street, someone stopping you, it's just not a polite way to meet someone, because the man stopped you in the middle of the street. You don't know how many times he's asked another girl, are you like number 50, that day that he asked on the street. Okay, I suppose it may work, like if you meet in a nightclub or something, but even then you don't really know them. The best way to meet someone is through somebody. Somebody needs to introduce you to somebody, because that person is like a third party. They would have screened that person, and that has more success rates than randomly meeting these randoms on the street that talk to you, or these people that click online, because it's just artificial and it should not happen. So yeah, it's like job referrals. Think of it that way. You refer someone and that person gets money when that person is successful at the job, isn't it? So see being introduced to someone as sort of like a job referral, um, because they have a lot more chances. And I know there's a lot of single people, but don't be stingy. How hard is it to just introduce someone to someone? It's not that hard, because there's more chances of it working out, by introducing somebody to somebody. It just sounds much nicer. How did you meet? Oh, so and so introduced me. That, even flipping, what's her name, Katie, it's not Katie, the princess, the American woman, she was introduced to Harry through somebody. That's why they're married. So that's how it works. That's the polite, traditional way people meet somebody. They get introduced. Introduce me to someone. none of this coming up by yourself, talking to somebody. Just there's like, manners. When somebody's that confident and brave to talk to somebody, they're not going to trust that. They're going to think, oh, they do that to every single girl and guy. So, if you know somebody that would suit, you genuinely, in your own intuition, you think that they would suit, just introduce them. Just say, hey, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. I've got this friend. They'll be more than happy to be introduced to each other. They just need someone to do it. And the problem is in this Western world is they don't want to see other people happy. So they don't introduce other people with each other because they've got this sort of, and then they complain why they're all single and they haven't found somebody. Why don't you ask so and so to introduce you? If you like somebody, oh, introduce me. How hard is it introducing someone? Not that hard. And another thing, even that comes with the mums as well, the older generation. If you know somebody that's another form of third party referral. That's fine. It's not an arranged marriage. Don't put this thing in your head that, oh, it's an arranged marriage, blah blah blah, because a granny has introduced somebody to somebody. It's not an arranged marriage. It's just to see whether you click, okay? And if it works out, then it's more polite than meeting some random dude on the street, okay? Like some, you know, I don't know, but yeah, it's better to be introduced to somebody through that way. It has more success rates, and there's nothing to be ashamed. Can I just say that is way better than being up there like, some prize meet online, being ticked left and right by randoms. That's worse. That's putting yourself out there, and it's not a good thing. Another thing is speed dating is not that bad, to be honest, because you're going somewhere, you're meeting someone face to face, you all want the same thing, so it may be just like a one-off event. So I suppose you're meeting somebody is better because you've got the same idea why you're there. So that's okay if you're like if you could narrow it down to the same generation, same jobs. So that's not bad. But and also it's an informal event, so it's not like online. That's all right. It's better than online dating. It's just a complete waste of time, to be honest. So I would really, those that are single, please take down your pictures. Just don't be out there. And if you think a guy is out there on online dating, don't trust that person. Like, they shouldn't be on online dating. Most of the time, men that are there are only there for one thing. So it should be common sense by now. So yeah, just avoid those things. That's what I can advise people. Yeah, another thing with this whole introduction is somebody mentioned how when things don't work once they've been introduced to someone, couples tend to then blame the person that introduced them together. It's like, oh, it's your fault. Why did you introduce me? Can I just say, like, those people are such idiots. Like, it didn't work out because it didn't work out between you two. The other person that introduced you's got nothing to do, so they shouldn't even think like that. And at the end of the day, it didn't work out, but don't blame people. That's the only thing. I think that's the only reason why people don't get involved. But we've got this crisis where all these people are just being advertised online looking for a partner, and it's just not working because they'll go on a date and then they'll get a big head and they'll want to go on another date with somebody, and then they'll never settle down, and that's why everybody's pissed off and women are pissed off. So the best thing to do is to be introduced to somebody. That's the best way if you want a relationship and whatnot. So I'm going to move on to yeah, as I was talking about motivation. I just think there's a lot of young people, young men with no direction, and having no direction is just like the worst thing you could ever do as a young person, because that person is volatile, and if they're male, then they just don't care, and they can just lash out because they've got nothing to lose. So there's a lot of young people with no direction, and it's just scary. It's just scary. It's just like you don't know what's ahead of you. So I just think that a lot of young people need more direction and a goal and some sort of idea of where they want to be. It doesn't they don't need to have much pressure. They don't need to like say, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. Not like that. I mean, if they want it, okay, but if they don't get it, then they don't need to be disappointed. But at least some sort of direction. Surely that's okay. But I just feel like there's a lot of young people don't have no direction these days, and they're literally living life without any goals, and it's just really bad. And certain things needs to be done to try and give these young people some direction in their lives, because you can clearly see the ones that have no direction, like the young, the BME black men just walking around, skinny with their hoodie, wandering about, and it's just, oh my God, like it's just so scary when you see them. You're just like, they're so volatile and they're upset with the world, and because of the situation of what's happening in the economic situation. But because of that, there is literally no direction, and I feel like more and more young people are lacking direction. So, but if they had direction, they would be a lot more happier, and society will be more happier. um Another thing I would like to talk about is the Kiki. Yes, I've been sleeping on the fact that apparently there's been this dance challenge called "In My Feelings" dance challenge by Drake, and it involves people literally opening the door, putting Drake's music on, and doing a dance with their heart sign, and it looks like an electric slide and the kicking thing. Yeah, and I mean, the other day I just spent ages just watching all the different types of In My Feeling challenge from around the world, and I think that's so cool because I feel like it united the world, because even though they couldn't speak the language, they were just doing the dance, and just shows how dance and music is like a universal language. And it's just nice that everybody participated from around the world and did this one dance. And yeah, I think that's really, really cool. Drake did definitely come out with a really good song. um yeah, I think it was great. I mean, to see all the different types of In My Feelings dance challenge, and the biggest one that I saw was literally Will Smith climbing on top of like a building, a bridge in Prague. And can I just say, how beautiful is Prague? Like, it looked like London, but just like so historic, you know. He did a good advertisement for Prague City, because I don't mind visiting it at the moment, after I saw him on top of the bridge doing the In My Feelings challenge. Although it looked more like a dad dance, to be honest. Don't know what happened to Will Smith's dance moves. It's kind of evaporated since the days he was in Fresh Prince. But yeah, he did the In My Feelings challenge, and he just looked like a right old dad up there on the bridge. It looks exactly like London Bridge. I mean, I honestly thought it was London Bridge, but it was actually Prague. And yeah, I don't mind visiting Prague now. It looks pretty cool. Just listening to Janelle Monáe right now. Some really cool futuristic video that she did called I Like That. Yeah, it's alright. She's kind of weird. Um, no, I mean, she's cool. She's not weird. I mean, like, she's got a different style, nice voice. Um, but yeah, she's really cool. I do like Janelle Monáe, like her music. And can I just say, like, why is the media obsessed with like black lesbians? Like, I feel like there's an agenda to like make black women lesbians, honestly. So, why is whatever she claims she is, her sexuality, like the biggest topic? Is it because they just like use her as like, oh look, she's a lesbian, so you can all become lesbians? Like, please, like, just stop with the agenda. I don't believe she's a lesbian. I think she literally said it so she can sell records. So she said to them like, okay, yeah, gave them a question mark. Oh, I swing, and basically, just so she can get their stamp of approval so they can buy her single, because I feel like they only trust black women if they're lesbians. Um, Not that I have anything against it, but it's just when there's like an agenda to encourage it, it's just weird. But yeah, I do like her music. It's cool. So, what else has everybody been up to? London has just been same old, not as hot. The heat wave has kind of gone. Kind of miss it now. When I was complaining about the heat wave, Now I've forgotten about it, and where is the heat wave? I miss it. I don't want it to be too hot, but yeah, a little sun won't hurt nobody. It'd be great if it did come back. Um, that's it, really. Right. So I was just watching the program. I'm watching her music with peacocks and flamingos in the background. Pretty cool that she got animals from the zoo. But can I just say, like, the flamingos in the zoo in this country, they're not as pink as they are in Africa. They sort of lose their pink colour. I wonder why that is. Peacocks still look the same, but flamingos, like, they lose that really bright pink colour that they normally have. They're not as pink. And I do like pink, to be honest. I'm a sort of a pink person, even though it doesn't suit me. Pink doesn't suit my complexion at all. I can't possibly wear it. No, no. So, yeah, I am Mysterious Shooting Star. I hope you like my vlog. And yeah, I'll be back with another vlog very soon. Yeah, I can just see somebody lurking. I wonder who that is. I was about to go, but somebody just turned up and is listening to me. I just feel like just going with the flow, just yeah, talking about what's been happening, a few things on my mind. Um, yeah, talked about motivation. We need motivation, people. Yeah, when you feel like you're losing your motivation, you need to get it back. Get some inspiration to get it back, because that's what's going to drive a lot of things. Without motivation, there is no action. So just work on your motivation and try and bring it back, because we all need motivation. Even if you're tired, like, just take a little bit of a nap. And it's you. Hi, Betty. Welcome back. Where have you been? I am just chilling and talking about motivation and how to bring it back and encourage yourself to just work, as Brittany said, you better work. How can you bring it back? Shopping, I went shopping too today. Can I just say, yeah, I went shopping too, Betty. I had a nice day as well. But yeah, when you feel like you're lacking motivation, some of the things you can do to force yourself to be motivated is just like dress up, do your hair. Those things will sort of then kick get the ball rolling and just do things, and sort of maybe put some uplifting music so you can sort of do what you need to do, because right now, like, we need to focus on so many things, and if we are going to achieve those things, we need that motivation. We need to do, and when you do have that motivation, try and what I do is I try and do as much work as I can while I have that motivation, because then you will obviously lose it, because you'll get burnt out, you'll get tired, and you're going to lose that motivation. So one way you can keep that motivation is to do as much work as you can while you have energy. When you've got that energy, it's like just dive in and just do loads of work, because then you can just sit back and be like, okay, when you feel like a bit tired, then you're like, oh, I don't have to do much work. So yeah, motivation is very, very important. Yes, you'll have to watch it. Yeah, just, I talked about dating. So yeah, I think this will apply to a couple of people, you know, this whole Tinder thing. Yeah, I mentioned that. So do listen to that, because yeah, I mentioned some really important things. Because I'm just sick of everyone looking depressed because of their situation with this disgusting Tinder business, which is just soul destroying, you know. No, I did not talk about that, Betty, because it's not really interesting. Yeah, obviously, but no, it's not. It wasn't interesting. I didn't watch it because I don't want to be. I don't believe in fear. I can't be bothered to watch doom and gloom and fear. So, I've decided not to cover it. Tinder is rubbish. It's like it's nothing revolutionary, and it's like with this whole tech revolution thing, can I just say, why are black men inventing these disgusting dating apps? Like, it just shows like their mind is just one track. Like, I'm not saying all, but you can be a bit more innovative. Not everything's about dating. Not everything's about, women don't have a problem with that. They never had a problem with that. So why are you bringing another rubbish? Why are you bringing another crappy online dating system? Like, literally, forget it, honestly. So yeah, yeah, as I said, Tinder is absolutely rubbish. It's just not worth it, honestly. Oh, I forgot to mention, Kelechi was going crazy. If anyone knows Kelechi Okafor, she's like a big Twitter personality online. Her name's Kelechi Okafor, Nigerian girl from South London, Peckham. Basically, she was on the Grapevine, and the Grapevine were talking about interracial relationship, and Kelechi was just talking about how she doesn't really talk about her interracial relationship with her partner. She's been with him for 5 years, but that's not part of her topic, because I mean, it's quite embarrassing, the fact that those that are in interracial relationships in London, in the UK, they seem to see being with a white person as like the biggest achievement in their life, and they go around like recording every single thing, like it's they're just, it's really embarrassing, and the whole world is talking about that, and they find them just so ridiculous and stupid. And quite rightly, Kalechi doesn't do that, because of all the black British people here in the UK that think that being with a white person is like the biggest thing since sliced bread. And yeah. Yeah, exactly. So the Grapevine did a question on it. Why is it, such a big thing in the UK compared to America? And, they really made some important points about, the fact that they see it as like a step up in society. Yes, but she's got a white guy, but she's got a Polish guy. So, and the thing is, she's been with him for 5 years or something, but she doesn't talk about it. She is pro black. She's way pro black. And to be honest, I'm on her side. And she did honestly mention how it's hard. If she had a choice, she could meet, she would have had a much easier time with a black guy. But then when you think about it, look at the black guys in the UK. They're not that great, though, are they? And at the end of the day, she needs to live her life. So who are we to judge her? I mean, who's going to marry? Yeah, she's not promoting him because she's seen her peers, those annoying people in the UK that promote their interracial relationship as some badge of honor. They're so disgraceful. They don't understand. They're just shaming up the whole community by doing such foolishness. At least Kelechi has, some sort of pride to not be like them, and she even finds them disgusting. Oh, let's go to the supermarket with my interracial husband. Oh, look at my and it's so gross. And I mean, I live in London, and when you see them with their little interracial children, it doesn't matter whether it's a black woman or a black man. The way that they treat their kids like prized eggs, like as if they're gonna crack. Like, come here, oh, look at my interracial child. Oh, they're so annoying, honestly. Like, they are just disgraceful. I've seen them, and it's like when they see you, when they see someone else with their fully black child, they've got this attitude like they've done something better for their lives, and such foolish people. Like, it's almost like the slave trade here. Honestly, when I see this fetishization of interracial relationships, gross. So yeah, then when she was talking about it at the Grapevine, the American producer at the end, she came out, literally saying, "Well, I'm sorry, but you can't be pro-black if you're dating white." And she didn't give her a chance to reply, and they just sort of cut the show up there, right there and there, and she felt ambushed. Um, yeah, it's just gross. I mean, even the I think the Nigerian lady, I like her, the one from the Grapevine. She's like, yeah, what's up with that in this country? They're annoying. Like, even she noticed the amount of UK interracial couples, like it's some badge of honor, and she was it was quite funny. But yeah, the other producer then just came out of nowhere when she was supposed to be holding the microphone. She just came out of nowhere and literally addressed Kelechi, and it's like, well, you can't be pro-black if you've got a white man. And it's like she wasn't part of the conversation. She just came at the end and sort of hijacked it at the end and then cut the show. And Kelechi was annoyed about that because she didn't give her a chance to speak. And on Twitter she was just talking about it, and she was like really angry about it and stuff. And she was going on about it, the fact that the BBC interviewed her today. Like she brought out like this interview about it, and why she yeah, yeah. But here is again, the reason why it's high here is because the media has actively promoted and pushed interracial relationship like it's a normal thing. You will never see any other race being pushed to be with their out of their race. Over here, they've specifically targeted the black community to encourage them to be with somebody from a white race. It's not even a different race like India, because a black and an Indian person will create a black child. I'm sorry, but Indians are not even aware that they come from a line of the black gene, but because they're so, a lot of them don't realize that because of colonialization, that's why a black and an Indian person will come out black. No, they don't encourage that. They encourage black and white, like literally. If you see on the adverts and everything, mixed race children are seen as like the classic, what's the word? Perfect looking children that are constantly encouraged. You'll never see black children, especially black little girls, advertised. Well, in her case, I think because of her situation, I feel like with Kalechi, it's just one of those things that unexpectedly happened, because at the end of the day, she's with a Polish guy, he's an immigrant. So, he may have been there for her, but she is 100% pro-black. I reckon she is. Yeah, look at her Twitter. Yeah, the things that she comes out with, her life experience, she's different. She's not like the others. So, you know, I mean, it was so funny. One black British YouTuber, she literally went to Italy and, blogged about meeting the first waiter or something. It's so embarrassing. Like he couldn't even speak English. There was no conversation, and she was. It's like she was proud of it or something, and she put it on YouTube. Like, why? Why would you blog about that? Like, you don't blog about your holiday fling. Nothing to be proud of, honestly. The guy like had a white shirt on. Clearly, she met him in a restaurant. And she was all blogging about it and stuff, ooh, and trying to encourage her friends to do the same. Like, no, what are you doing? It's nothing to be proud of. So yeah, because of this heavy promotion and all these other YouTube couples, that's why a lot of people are you know doing it. And also, black boys have really been conditioned to go for white women. It just needs to, this whole conditioning needs to stop. Don't believe in it. So, yeah. What else has been happening? Um, yeah, I am Miss Jarena Shooting Star. I have come back with another blog, and I'll be back with another one. Take care, everyone. Bye.